What? How do you know I'm streaming? How do you even know? You. How does he even know? The second I start. You're correct. You're out of control. Is it? This is your morning routine now? New headphones. What? No. Okay. He wants to be liberated too. True. You don't want pets. He wants to run around. That's what he... If I, like, run out into the kitchen, he'll, like, run behind me and try to, like, jump on me and attack me. I don't know why. I need to buy, like, a kitty for him. And then they can run around and play. Here, look. Up here. Then don't. Then don't come up here. Can you talk about how there's been no cost-benefit analysis of the tariffs, mass deportation, etc., but Bernie's Medicare for All was a fairy tale plan because it couldn't pass a cost-benefit analysis? I want metrics. Are you attacking conservatives because conservatives say we can't afford social health care? Or are you attacking me because I said Bernie wouldn't be able to do Medicare for All, but Trump can do all these deportation things? I can't tell who that's aimed at. If you're attacking me, then the difference is that Bernie, you can't do single-payer health care as from just the executive office. So he could never get that done. He would need Congress. If you're talking about conservatives, you need to eliminate the why from your vocabulary when you talk about conservatives. There's just no, don't ever ask why, because it's epic is the only thing they'll ever say. Okay. Today we find out how close our friendship is with Dan. Oh boy. What did you actually do to this studio? I might have completely and totally redesigned the entire thing. My hope is that it looks nice enough that he comes in and his initial shock of being upset that I redesigned it goes away, and he's like, well, at least it looks okay. But I've been doing it after stream for the last 4 days. Oh boy. Good luck. Did you test the audio? Yeah, I tested everything. It all works, unless something weird happened. Millionaire streamer building a studio himself. Listen, it was a fun project, okay? I bought a saw. I got a power drill now. I fucking redid the wall. It was a lot, okay? But it turned out way better than I thought it would. I thought it was going to be a clusterfuck of horrible shit. As soon as I started, because I bought like wood paneling for the wall, but I had to saw off about an inch or two to make it work. And I bought like a saw and sandpaper. I should have gotten an electric saw. I see why people use electric saws though. Because bro, actually sawing shit, fuck that. That's fucking AIDS. But we'll see how it goes. Oh man. We got a sneak peek. Oof. I'll probably tweak over the next few days. Do you like the way it turned out for yourself? I personally am shocked. I think it looks really nice. But I don't know. I see it, there's like a couple things I would probably change. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I basically set it up to look like kind of like what this looked like in the beginning, where the table is more like in the bottom here, and then there's kind of like I have like a lot of posters and stuff on the back wall. I'm just kidding. I need to buy brown carpet or something, or I need to change the angle of this camera because I can catch the corners where it's unwooded back here. But I feel like this wide shot looks a lot nicer than it did before. I drilled in all of these wood panels. There's like 15 of them. Holy shit. What'd you end up doing for the wall partition? I have my 2 soundproof partitions here, then all of these wood panels in the back are just, they're sawed to the fit, and then they're drilled into the wall. The camera's a little crooked in this shot, though. I adjusted it after, but... Are you going to look at the TV? I changed the setup so that the TV is in front now, so we're looking towards the camera instead of looking back towards the thing. So there's a TV in front of us here to see both of us looking forward. Where are the ferns? Aren't these ferns? They count, right? I'm not sure about the gigasymmetric stuff. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we can change things up a little bit. I tried to be like mindful of like composition and like rule of thirds, I guess. It like does that since I kind of, yeah. So like my 2 profile shots, like 2/3 is the black background, and then there's like the wood background and the little fern thing. I mounted the rim lights to the wall dividers. I thought that was smart. Like I feel like I might change like the plan or something back here. It's a bit crooked here, but I changed the cameras after, but I don't know. Hopefully it's okay. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. What do you have a gust? I think I can add a 3rd and 4th chair next to it. It'll just be a bit cramped, but I'm not even worried about a gust right now. I was just designing for 2. Home Depot can do those straight cuts for you for a small charge. Maybe, but having to carry everything around, bro, those wood panels were heavy. Fuck all that shit. Yeah, fuck all that shit. Sawing that stuff, I think I was blowing my nose for like 3 days and my boogers were like fucking gray because of the, I guess the dust you kick up or whatever. I don't know if that's gonna give me cancer, but. Oh, I will say also now having I bought a DeWalt, like a little power drill, power screwdriver, power, whatever the fuck you call it. Oh my God, it's so fucking nice. I use it on everything now. Jesus, you just pull the trigger and it just screws everything in. Oh my God, it's so good. Holy shit. If the TV is in front of you guys, how is chat going to see what you guys are watching? What do you mean? We have the normal... there's a scene for the computer. What are you talking about? You trolling me? $20 volt or 12 volt? I think they're 220 volts. Using that keyboard and mouse is gonna be uncomfortable. I mean, I tried it. I have no problem sitting on my lap, but I can buy like a little lap thing for Dan if he needs one. There are like these things. Maybe I can get one for him. I got these. What's the difference between 1 and 2? I have no... What do you do with this smaller one? I have no clue. This bigger one, I understand how to take the bit in and out. I don't know what this smaller thing does, or what the point of this smaller thing is. Also, when you're putting together stuff and it says warning, don't over tighten using an electric drill. If you just turn this to like 1 and then you use it, it's fine, right? Because I was using this on stuff that it said not to use an electric drill on, but it seemed like it was fine, right? Impact driver. The smaller one is for screwing, not drilling. Oh. Wait, does this one have a torque setting? Because I know this guy here has a torque setting. I feel like I don't believe you. Impact driver. Driving screws, nuts, and bolts into materials, utilizing a hammering effect. Oh, this is the impact driver. Okay. It uses a different system to drive the fastener. Are you in the part of your arc where you watch project from benchmark multiple power tools in a specific category to min-max? No, all I needed was I just bought a handsaw and then the drills. I don't think I bought any other tools. Was your intention to make it more casual or less casual? I feel like this new set feels more spacious because of the smaller table, but oddly more formal because of the bigger chairs, confining the focus of the shot more. I think the main thing was just to make it look nicer. So the shot composition makes more sense and there's not random shit in the background. And so that the wide shot actually looks good. I'm not fighting with those fucking windows all the time. And I'm not fighting with, and we're not like looking behind us when we're doing content. The TV will be in front of us, like, yeah. And then we can tweak stuff and add stuff as well. I think it'll be okay. The drill torque ring is called a clutch, and you're correct. If you use the lower number, the clutch will engage in disengage. Yeah, okay, whatever, all right. Jesus. If you're not going to utilize it, there was no point. It was a mistake. But listen, I've learned. I know everything there is to know about everything now, okay? Not really, but at least as far as lighting and camera work, I understand a lot more. Trying to utilize that window was never, especially having it in the shot. Like, I think that utilizing natural light like I'm doing right now in this shot, where it's just at the side, so that when the light goes away from out there, my light basically takes over up here. It's doable, but having it in the shot for varying like hours of the day is just not, it's impossible. I was a fool's errand. That was always a fool's errand. Fuck all that. How many times have you ran into your shotguns? Never. It's deceptively, it's an optical illusion. It looks like it's blocking my door, but it's really not. It's like the door's behind it more. Predictions for later. What's later? Thoughts on the Switch 2? Don't know, don't care. I have everything, Eben. Do you have thoughts or concerns on the declining global birth rates? The replacements be aside, what is it? There does appear to be significant decline in most major countries, especially South Korea and Japan. but even the US is experiencing this. Is it an issue worth being concerned about? I don't know, probably not yet, but we might be getting there. I don't know, I'm not sure. The idea that like we need more people for what? For social security or for white nationalism or I don't know. Like different people are very interested in the birth rate, but it feels like they're interested in it for very different reasons, so I don't know how important it is. We remember the dinner with Vosh where you were playing Switch, Don't Lie to Us. Well, that was just for that one game. I think I only ever had one game on my Switch. I don't even remember what it was fucking called. The Final Fantasy Tactics-esque one. Not Triangle Strategy, yeah. The guns make for a cringe background. You're not John Wick, little bro. Actually, I am John Wick. Because guess what? He also gets...
Good afternoon.
He also gets a Benelli.
Zero penetration. However, quite painful, I'm afraid.
I need to get one of these suits. I need a bulletproof suit. Where's that at?
Could you recommend anything for the end of the night? Something big, bold.
May I suggest the Benelli M4?
What a great shotgun.
Custom bolt carrier release and charging handle. Textured grips should your hands get wet. An Italian classic.
Dessert.
So fuck you. I will buy every gun used in John Wick, alright? Did you like Triangle Strategy? I loved FFT's class system, and Triangle Strategy worried me on that. It was okay, just a bit simple. I don't really know why or what happened, but it really does feel like nothing has ever replaced or tried to like touch what Final Fantasy Tactics did. I've heard good things about, is it called Front Mission? No, it's not Front Mission. It's another game. Fire Emblem? Where... Is that like a Tactics-esque game? I don't know if how similar that is, but... I don't know, I feel like... Final Fantasy Tactics... for some reason, I just feel like nobody ever tried to make anything like that. Damn, it was so good. What's the percentage distribution on why you got this gun between the fact that it's in John Wick and that it's called a Benelli? I mainly got it because your mom likes to fuck it. I actually just got it because it's supposed to be one of the... It's just like one of the... It's a classic, awesome shotgun. Next FromSoft game is going to be a Switch 2 exclusive. Oh boy. Did you play Tactics Advanced? Yeah. It was okay. What's that answer? Because it's a classic? What does that even mean for you? For Final Fantasy Tactics?
I give you my blood.
Oh, for the M4? It's like the first, or one of the first and like coolest and most well-known, I think, semi-automatic shotguns. I'm pretty sure there were, I think, multiple law enforcement, I think, around the world had it in service for a while. I don't remember if any part of the U.S. Army did. It's a super reliable gun. Like, it's super recognizable. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a classic Marine Corps. Oh, the Marine Corps uses it to this day. Like, I think if you have somebody who's like into guns, like an M4, they'll just instantly recognize it. It's just like, oh, it's a cool. Isn't it from CS 1.6? There you go.
I give you my life. turn a wheel and transport him to a night of moonlight, to humanity's very dusk.
Hate that scene in John Wick where he's describing a shotgun that is, like you said, a classic, like he doesn't know what a fucking Benelli was. Well, I mean, it's exposition for the audience. Think about in House. Imagine you're like a world-class doctor and House is describing to you using a simple analogy like how autoimmune diseases work. Like you're sitting there and House is like, the immune system is like a guy that kicks people out of the bar. Sometimes he's kicking people out that need to be there though. And it's like, thank you, House. Yeah, we're all fucking doctors here. We know what an autoimmune disease is. Why are you using a fucking retard, like explain it like I'm 5 years old analogy to us? We've been on your team for 3 seasons, Doc, you know? House is usually explaining that shit to patients. The vast majority of House explanations are to his own doctors.
Close your eyes and contemplate now the moon, as befits the soon to depart.
I pray that you are able, carrier of blood.
Will flow for one, and one alone.
Wow, that sounds fucking epic. What's the point of buying a Switch when you can buy a Steam Deck for less? No clue. Never used one. I love how this post-credit scene is so fucking epic. Like, everybody was talking about the Rat Man for Dusk Bloods, and now we know the Rat Man's gonna be in it. That's so fucking sick. I love it.
And today I'm going to be doing a demonstration of our 3A Bulletproof jacket. This is our sport model. I'm going to be shooting it with
Stealing Donkey's jokes? Fuck you. Donkey didn't make that joke.
124 grain plus P 9mm, coming out of my TriStar T120. Let's do it.
Oh, okay. Random quick question. Then we're done with guns, okay? After this video. Is there any merit to buying a higher grain count gun, or higher grain count bullets to break in a firearm? Or is that retarded? Assuming the firearm can handle it. Holy shit. Wait, is this real?
Oh. Ah. Whew. Does it hurt? Absolutely.
I wonder how much it distributes the force through like the rest of the vest. Because I feel like at this range, you'd probably break your rib, no? Like even if the vest doesn't allow the bullet to penetrate. Although I know he's shooting himself like in the stomach here, but...
Does it hurt? Absolutely. But we wanted to create clothing integrated with American-made body armor that's affordable. That it greatly increases the chance of surviving what would usually be a deadly encounter. Am I gonna have a big fat bruise? Absolutely, yes, I am. But I'm still here, and I believe in our product.
Jesus.
Thank you.
He opens it and there's just blood pouring out of his... Jeez. I mean, it's a lot better than having the bullet go into you, though. There's no shot they didn't hand load that round if it's real. He said it was 120 or whatever grain, no? Is this a 45 as well? I need a nice 1911. That's like the next thing I have to get if I don't get the AR-15 first. Because I feel like that's like every dick suck has a nice 1911. I really just make fun of them because I'm a contrarian, though. There's no reason to. What did you say? What was the bullet?
This is our sport model. I'm going to be shooting it with 124 grain plus P 9mm.
Oh, it's a 9mm. 1911 is almost always chambered in 45, right? Okay. Damn, 124 plus P. That means poison for your dagger. I think a standard 9mm load is it 115? Oh, this is 124 grain. FMJ is the load the military uses. This says average load is 115. Who knows? I wonder how much these vests cost. How much kinetic energy does a bullet lose after traveling, say, like 40 yards? Like if a bullet goes 40 yards, is it losing a significant amount of force, or does it maintain or retain most of it? The military recently swapped to Sig Sauer 9mm hollow points. I thought hollow points were banned in war, like you're not allowed to use them. When they say 124 grains, they're talking about the weight of the projectile, not about the powder and speed of the bullet, FYI. I thought we looked through this on stream at one point, and somebody told me that. Like, I thought grain was supposed to be the weight of the gunpowder, and then somebody's like, no, it's actually just the bullet. But then when we looked it up, grain is the weight of the entire cartridge. So if you add more gunpowder, it's a higher grain load. Is that not? I don't remember. Oh, you're the gun guy. Never mind. You probably know what you're talking about then. Okay. They measure the weight of both the projectile as well as the powder. When you say projectile, are you referring to the entire cartridge? That jacket is $600 to $800. Okay. Hollows are legal in Florida, no issue. I meant for rules of war. I don't believe you're allowed to use hollow point bullets. I don't know if that's a Geneva Convention thing or... Military, hollow points, international law. The Hague Convention of 1899, Declaration 3, prohibited the use in international warfare of bullets that easily expand or flatten in the body. It's a common misapprehension that hollow point ammunition is prohibited by the Geneva Conventions, as the prohibition significantly predates those conventions. The St. Petersburg Declaration of 1868 ban. I wonder if this would apply to hollow points. I'm not sure. Okay. What else do we have in here? Dragon Wilds. Runescape. Wow. That's freaking epic. Damn. Oh, this is 10 years old? What the fuck?
Spot, does that make sense? Yep. Outstanding.
Orbit on me, micro warp drives on. We're moving.
Secondaries, Vipers, and the Omen.
He's in structure. Take him down.
That revelation out now.
They released a trailer for EVE Online to show how epic the game was.
Pretty nice. Gonna produce 4 of them, 2 days, 19 hours, 11 minutes, 44 seconds. We can expect to make 8 to 10 million around there.
51 out of 56 grit.
It was funny because somebody took the trailer and the music and then they overlaid like actual in-game comms.
Fucking fleet concepts with it would have been good if it trapped their fucking fleet!
It's just good memes, okay?
This shit fucking stops today. No more of these bullshit fucking fleet concepts with 3 fucking support frigates and 2 dictors out of 150 people.
That somebody across the fucking internet who has no fucking clue who the fuck I am can have any idea who I fucking am. You understand what I'm saying?
You know what? Fuck you, period. I'm leaving this fucking corp and it's cause of you, you stupid cock fucking whatever the fuck you are.
35 years for a rookie mistake.
Fucking piece of shit. Fuck you.
Fucking scrub that doesn't get to talk. You reimburse my tempest right now, or I'm gonna fucking screw you over. Somehow or somewhere. No. You do not do this bullshit in my fucking station. You don't. Is that completely fucking crystal clear to you? You don't talk back to AAA. You don't fucking do anything your own way in my station. You live in my station, you live by my fucking rules. Is that completely fucking crystal clear to you, you asshole? Clear? Understood? If no, you can drop rolls and get the fuck out.
I know,
You're fucking, you're such a horrible pilot, man. Just shut the fuck up right now.
I have 70k away.
Shut the fuck up.
As far as I'm concerned, you should probably pack your shit and get the fuck out. Because you are literally the fucking age that is rotting the Alliance from the inside out. You are pieces of shit.
I'm gonna fucking tickle your nose hairs with my fucking shoe.
Let me get a Red Bull.
Okay, well, would it be cool if we got all but 3 of our supers out, but instead we lost 5, so awesome. Hey, guess what? We could have lost none. That would have been fucking swell.
Dude, what is your problem, dude? Why are you calling the target? Shut up. Curator is primary. You're so retarded. Curator is primary. Secondary is Blanco. What the fuck is wrong with you? 17 kilometers. Fuck you.
Yeah, well, dude, armor hack! Armor hack! Armor hack! Hey, guess what we're not going to stop doing? Fighting or dropping caps. So, instead of like half-assing it, being like, oh, I don't have any ships or anything, you know, I didn't finish moving because you're fucking lazy as shit. We're fighting a war right now. We're on campaign. We would like to be able to do some shit.
I'm on a fucking dread, and what are you all doing? It's like, my god, we're flying around the bush, shouldn't we stay in this because we're cool like that? Scrubs.
Go in! Go in now! Go in now! Rape is your fucking primary! Rape is the fucking primary! And we're gonna fucking rape him now!
The throw forward.
I'd call that an op success. Thank you.
Jesus. Florida cop nearly runs over a kid on a bike and aggressively tackles him to the ground.
Yo!
I mean, just from the first 20 seconds of this video, it seems like they are literally after somebody. I don't think that the kid hit the cop car and the cop decided to arrest him. There's literally like 3 cops that are all closing in on this group of people. It seems like they were after a specific person here. It might be this kid. Like, there's a cop car here with lights on. There's a cop car coming from... Was there one coming from down here? Oh, no, it's the same one. Oh, no, that is another one. Yeah. They're definitely, like, after somebody. They're definitely after somebody in this group of people. It's not a cop, that's Carantos. I feel like, I'm curious what the average salary or whatever the fuck is of these cops. I feel like there should be some minimum fitness. When you're in the military, even if you're an office guy, you have to do PT, right? Every day or every week or something? Isn't there like minimum PT for being, even if you're not like in active combat roles? Yeah, why is he in a mask? What the fuck? No, you have to be able to pass tests though. Well, I mean, same thing. He's undercover? Why, he looks like he's in a fucking clan mask. Why would you do this? Collab of the century. Am I supposed to know who this is? LOL, do you really want to play the Who's in a Coalition with Bad People game? From Jerusalem. Lena Khan. Why do I know that name? FTC chair. Oh. Are we allowed to say yet that the second Star Trek movie from the new trilogy? I mean, I say new, but that the second Star Trek movie was good? Everybody hated that movie. I don't know why. I thought it was a good movie. I thought the third one sucked. Red Letter Media liked it. Good. I can't find the scene because there's nothing uploaded from that third movie, but... Or at least it was when I checked last. Everything having to do with orbital mechanics in movies is fucking retarded, which is fine. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I think you should go straight out into space, and leaving orbit just means you're far enough from the planet with no concern for trajectory or anything. But whatever. I'm not here to like fucking... Ugh. But I will say, probably one of the dumbest, quote-unquote, orbital mechanics scenes I think I've ever seen in my life. Unless there was some explanation for it that I just missed or wasn't paying attention to. People talk about, like, reaching escape velocity or something, or terminal velocity or whatever, to escape like a planet's orbit, which is like kind of true. However, in the Star Trek movie, I think they said they needed to reach a certain velocity to escape the orbit, but the way that they did it was by driving the ship like down a huge ramp, and then once they were going fast enough, it meant they could get away. It just sounded fucking retarded. Does anybody have any idea what I'm talking about? Did this happen in the third movie, or am I misremembering the scene? God, I hated that third movie so much. How dumb is it that Armageddon decided to train a bunch of rig workers to be astronauts instead of astronauts to be rig workers? You don't know what it's like, okay? When a hot trainee breaks down, you gotta have your crew there, you fucking retard. That commentary is really good. Someday, no, I'm never doing this. Or maybe you should for movie streams. Is there like a full commentary track with just, fuck, not Matt Damon, not Brad Pitt, the other guy. The guy with Matt Damon in the movie, Good Will Hunting. Ben Affleck. I always forget this guy's name. Is there, does he comment the whole movie, or is it just like selections of scenes? Way back in the day, we used to sell DVDs, and part of the sell for a DVD is you'd have a bonus director's cut, or not a director's cut, like a director's commentary track, sometimes with the actors like talking about the film, which is really interesting. Did they get rid of this? Did they still release this in other ways with movies? But
I asked Michael why it was easier to train oil drillers to become astronauts than it was to train astronauts to become oil drillers, and he told me to shut the fuck up. So that was the end of that talk. He was like, you know, Ben, just shut up, okay? You know, this is a real plan, all right? I was like, you mean it's a real plan at NASA to train oil drillers? He was like, just shut your mouth. See, here's where we demonstrate that, because Bruce is going to tell the guys that they did a bad job of building the drill tank. He did a piss. See, he's a salt-of-the-earth guy, and the NASA nerdonauts don't understand his salt-of-the-earth ways. His rough.
It is always funny that like in all of these movies, like the military and everybody is so fucking retarded, right? Like alien invasions happen, or some big event is happening, and the military shows up like, oh, we don't know what to do about anything. We're fucking, all we can do is shoot at shit. We're so fucking retarded. And it's like, really, bro? The best and the brightest, like all of our money, technology, the military industrial complex, some of the most cutting edge technology for surveillance, for like killing people, for blowing shit up, and the military is retarded in every fucking movie. It's either movies that are designed explicitly to make you suck the military off, because the military forces you to say positive things about them if you want to rent their equipment for movie shoots or whatever, which is fine, because then we still get great movies like Top Gun and Top Gun 2. Or it's a movie that doesn't have any official military involvement, and everybody in the military is like a fucking retard. It's like, okay.
Ways, his rough and tumble ways.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's because your cans are all...
Like somehow they can build rocket ships, but they don't understand like what makes a good tranny.
We've had them training for 8 months solid now. 8 whole months? Well, pretty much, yeah. Oh, gee whiz. Well,
like 8 whole months, as if that's not enough time to learn how to drill a hole. But in a week, we're gonna learn how to be astronauts. Oh, 1 whole week? Now you know how to fly into space? I need my guys. Why do you need them? They're the best. Everyone's the best. Why are they the best? I don't know. They just are.
I'm only the best because I work with the best. If you don't trust the men you're working with, you're as good as dead. You want to...
Like, how dramatic is drilling for oil? You don't trust the man you're working with, you're as good as dead. Like, are you going to Sudan to fucking steal their resources? Like, Jesus.
You want to send these boys into space? Fine. I'm sure they'll make good astronauts. But they don't know jack about drilling.
I mean, this is a little bit of a logic stretch, let's face it. They don't know jack about drilling. How hard can it be? Aim the drill at the ground and turn it on. You think it's just drilling a hole? There's a lot you gotta know about. And when you're gonna snap off an edge in a tranny on a corner of a hot pipe, and you're gonna get a gas pocket. Like, yeah, well, what about when the booster rockets don't fire and your EVA suit and your zero gravity, you know? Didn't you see Apollo 13, boy?
Yeah. Oh.
Another misconception is that orbits wobble. Simple orbits only happen in a 2D plane unless there's many bodies. Oh, true. One thing that really blew my mind, this has lived in my brain rent-free, and then we Googled it, and it was true. I can't believe those Starlink satellites are decommissioned after 5 years. That's really wild to me. So they must be replacing those things constantly. They remind me of the solar sails in Dyson Sphere program. That seems like a lot of waste. Jesus. There's literally tens of thousands? Yeah, that's just wild. They must fly into the atmosphere, no? Well, I think they end up deorbiting them by... They change the angle of inclination, so they're not on the same 2D plane, and they blow the orbit out a little bit, so that it's in, I think, mid-Earth orbit or something? I think they decommission them out there. They don't actually fly them into the planet, I think. Destiny, they burn up. Wait, do they? I thought I read that they don't do that. What happens to old Starlink? Wait, we don't want to go to McConnell. How do they decommission Starlink satellites? Destiny should play Kerbal Space Program. I played so much Kerbal Space Program. Does it, if you blow them into a mid-Earth orbit, they just stay there forever, or almost forever, is that considered a deorbit, or does deorbit imply that they're always burned up in the atmosphere? Oh, leaving no debris in space. So deorbit must mean, oh, I guess they are burned up then. Objects in low Earth orbit deorbit themselves pretty fast. Is Starlink? Oh, these are in low Earth orbit. The problem is that the atmosphere fades out as you get further from the planet. But I think in low Earth orbit, there's still quite a bit of atmosphere that you're like pushing against. So you have to constantly boost using either fuel or some kind of propellant. Well, it has to be some kind of propellant. But obviously, eventually you run out. You can't do it forever. What makes satellites better than giant antennas? Seems like a waste of money. What do you... Well, a satellite can get a signal from around the planet. Antennas have to have repeaters or something, no? What do you mean? Lower orbit is faster, another misconception, even accounting for the smaller radius and distance traveled. Lower orbit is faster, another misconception, even accounting... What do you mean by... like the speed? Oh, sure. It has to be faster, right? Can't you just make the antenna bigger? I mean, you can make an antenna that goes all the way into the sky, I guess. Giant antennas would be really good, actually, if the Earth was actually flat, because then you might not need satellites at all. But the fact that the Earth is curved, and I think you need... I wouldn't say you need direct line of sight, but you kind of. Like, the Earth would block antenna transmission, so you can't just send signals through the planet, no? Here is a picture. Can you please explain string theory? Yeah, there's 13 dimensions and your mom's getting banged in all of them. Thank you. Radio already bounces within the atmosphere, but yeah, some signals don't make it. Well, the problem with radio, my conceptual understanding of it, is longer wavelengths can travel further distances and can travel through things like a wave like this, but because there's so much distance between your peaks and your valleys, the period, is that what you call this? You can't have very much information in it. Whereas like shorter wavelengths like this, they get absorbed by material easier. So like any wall in a apartment or any kind of, I don't know if they're more susceptible to electrical interference, but they can't penetrate things as much, but they can carry way more data. This is why, I don't know what 5G is like now, but it used to be that when 5G first rolled out, if you were standing right next to a tower, you could get like 500 down and 500 up. But you can't get, but as soon as you'd like walk a little bit away or go around a corner, you'd lose like 80% of the data. Or 80% of the bandwidth, I should say. Period is time. When you say like a wave is like 1 nanometer, you're measuring from here to here, right? Or is it from here to here? It's from peak to peak? Oh, okay, never mind. Is Interstellar or Gravity the better movie? I never watched Gravity, so I have no idea. Interstellar is an amazing movie, though. A long time ago, before satellites, there was a plan of sending antennas into the atmosphere to create an artificial ionosphere. Sounds cringe. But okay. Have you updated your opinion on the most important debate of our generation, Goku versus Superman? It has to be Goku easily, right? I feel like it would be Goku easily because Goku just blow up the sun and then Superman would lose, no? Who wins in a fight in outer space between King Kong and Godzilla? Godzilla, because he can fire projectiles, so he can actually move in space. King Kong would just be stuck there like a loser. Ad Astra, I think, is the best out of all of them. Seems like the most realistic approach to what space travel will become. I don't know about realistic, maybe. I really liked Ad Astra, though. I thought the space noir was just interesting. I really like that movie. I don't know why. It feels interesting to watch. Ooh! Why would he throw the bat that way? Damn. What do you think Trump will say at this 1 p.m. press conference? Well, considering it's 3 p.m. Eastern time. FYI, generally shortwave radio actually transmits further on Earth due to waves bouncing back and forth off ground and upper atmosphere, whereas longer wavelengths will just head into space. Okay. Goku can't shoot the sun fast enough that Superman wouldn't be able to obliterate him several times over Limeo Destiny. Goku could literally just hold like a kryptonite thing and then just shoot the sun and Superman would have to be dead. Thoughts on the new bats used by the Yankees? Listen, okay. My heart broke when I found out that Tom Brady was using deflated footballs. And now I see that the Yankees are cheating with their big bats. Unbelievable, okay? I remember when sports used to be good. Back in the days when everybody was all natty and didn't cheat at all. And it was greats like Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire batting off against each other. And it was just pure good fun, you know? That's what I remember. Justin, a federal judge has officially vacated and dismissed the charges against Jeremy Brown, a J6 defendant who argued that President Trump's pardon also applied to his unrelated convictions for possessing illegal grenades, firearms, and classified info. Wow. Behest. Holy behaste. Dude, I need to spend like a week in New York City and go to other places. Maybe I need to go to like the deepest, darkest places in the Bronx or something. I spend almost all my time in Manhattan, to be fair. I'm here 8 hours in New York City, and I understand why bankers hate poor people so much now. I've never seen such an underclass, so barbaric, shameless, and aimlessly aggressive. My understanding of New York politics has been revolutionized. Like, where are you going in New York City that this is happening? Is this like... I've spent some time in Brooklyn and Queens, but like, where are they going that this is happening so much? Is the Bronx really that rough? I don't get it. Shouldn't a pardon be an admission of guilt rather than a wrongful conviction? Why would that invalidate gathering evidence for other crimes? I mean, I haven't read this judge's full decision, but I think the way that Trump phrased that pardon, it might mean that if you were under investigation for or charged with any other crimes around that J6 time, those might also all be pardoned as well. After docketing a copy of a certificate of the pardon of Jeremy Brown by President Donald J. Trump, and after confirming, with respect to the offenses alleged and the second superseding indictment, that the offenses of conviction in this case are intended to be covered by this pardon, the United States moves, unopposed under Rule 48A, Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure, to dismiss with prejudice the second superseding indictment. McConnell breaks with party to reject Trump's Canada tariffs. The former Senate Republican leader will likely deliver the deciding vote on a resolution to block a national emergency used to justify the new tariffs on Canadian imports. I think that, did we read in the National Emergencies Act that Congress has to affirm a security concern or a national emergency after 90 days? Is that a thing, or am I making that up? It's curious that that 1 day is the rest of the term thing didn't apply to this 90-day thing, rather than that it only applies to, I guess, taking an early vote to end it or something. 90-day, or how long has Trump been president? How many days has Trump been president? I feel like Google users give me the answers. Fuck you. He would back Kane's resolution, which would get a vote on the Senate floor Wednesday evening. A spokesperson confirmed Kane's remarks. It said it. It's been 102 days. Wait, did it say it? Usually it will say it on top. Wait, no. I thought after like a first... Oh, no, it did say it. The 100th day of the second presidency will end on April 30th, 2025. Wait, isn't there normally like a State of the Union or a big thing after like 100 days? Are we just not doing that, or... Damn, that's foreboding. His 100th day was April 1st? Oh, no. The 100th day of his second... No, fuck. You're fucking my mind. The 100th day of his second presidency will end on April 30th. Shut the fuck up. That 109 thing you read was for executive orders. You're trolling me. Stop trolling me. He's been vocal in his warnings about Trump's tariffs, including at a recent op-ed in the Courier Journal, but it's the latest instance of McConnell bucking the administration since leaving his leadership position. And McConnell's support means Kane's resolution will likely have the votes it needs to advance in the Senate. In addition to McConnell, Suzanne Collins, Lisa Murkowski, and Rand Paul are expected to vote for the measure, which would end the national emergency Trump declared earlier this year to justify his new plan to stop 25% tariffs on Canadian imports. When we say Kane, are we referring to Tim Kaine, the guy that ran with Hillary Clinton? It is, right? United States Senator from Virginia. Okay. Oh god, Asmund slap.
I think LGB is something that 80 to 90% of people are totally okay with. And I think that the TQ plus is something that 80 to 90% of people are not okay with. I feel like that's it. You're delusional if you think 80% are okay with it. I think 80% are okay with gay people if they don't have to see them or deal with them, right? It's like a live and let live situation.
We need to divorce people.
What does it mean to see or deal with a gay person? Like you have to give them an enema? Or you have to watch two lesbos scissoring each other? What does that mean, deal with them?
We need it stat.
Yeah, and so you're seeing a lot of people that are like older gay people saying this now. And I think that's what's happening.
You're not. You're seeing a few tokens on Twitter, though.
Weird. Perfect example of call out your extremists or be defined by them. Yeah, basically, right? And the Q means acting out of line. Well, I'm just saying in general, right? The furries and the examples that were used in this video. And I don't want to see my sexual activity regards to preference, keep it in the bedroom. No, I understand there's a lot of people that feel that way already. You're missing something? No, I'm really not. I actually think that this is very simple. It's that with all of the LGBTQ pushback, 90% of it is with trans stuff. Very rarely is there like an actual pushback against something that's just simply gay or a person wanting to be gay. It's always about somebody trying to use the opposite bathroom, somebody wanting to have their pronouns established, and it's like some kind of like gender switch up or something else, right? There's not a lot of people that like being, somebody wants to be considered non-binary. Like this is the stuff that average people, I think, really, really do not vibe with.
I mean, it's kind of true, but also most trans people don't do this shit, right? How many years deep are we into this trans stuff? Like, I thought in Canada with Bill C-16, and I thought with all the wokies in the United States, shouldn't we have seen some people go to jail by now for misgendering somebody? Like, notice how there are no cases to talk about. Nobody got arrested or fired or lost their business because they accidentally misgendered something. Like, this just doesn't happen. This was always a lie by the Republicans to fearmonger over trans people, but whatever, dude. I mean, it is true, though, that it's like a, it's a loser of an issue for Dems. They need to message better around it.
And they do not agree with. And I think that then when you take it into like schools and shit, now people are like militant against it.
What do you think about this defensive play? Jesus. Every time I look at him play, I'm just like, he's no Michael Jordan. Definitely a top 3 player, though, I would say. Top 3 player. It's downright scary to watch this close up. President Trump is focused on what teams American transgender athletes can race on, and China's focused on transforming its factories with AI so it can outrace all our factories. Trump's Liberation Day strategy is to double down on tariffs while gutting our national scientific institutions and workforce that spur U.S. innovation. China's liberation strategy is to open more research campuses and double down on AI-driven innovation to be permanently liberated from Trump's tariffs. Damn. True. Bro, Friedman is like a left-wing spokesman. The New York Times writer? Give him a break. He's a perma-liberal that will oppose any conservative or right-wing agenda point ever. At least we know now, or at least we now know you're politically biased. Ah, eye laughing face. What are your thoughts on all the AI art memes? Art Twitter is hella mad right now. Get used to it and figure out how to work with it, because AI art is gonna come, and you can't ever stop technology. It's stupid to even try. You can go get mad at it if you want, but you better figure out how to incorporate it into your workflow. Great question. Legal authority for the reciprocal tariffs. This is all speculation, but here's how I see Trump's options. Follow regular order and start a bunch of Section 301 investigations. Most legal option would be for... Oh, he's trying for terrorists. Don't care. Oh, God. I just want to break from the further left people on foreign policy. We can just ignore Israel-Palestine. I can't do it on economics as well, though. Fuck me.
I come from East London, okay? My friends can't feed their kids, okay? And if it was as simple as going out and being an entrepreneur...
Bro, help them.
I can bet you they would do it. I can bet you they would do it. I'm sick of multimillionaires telling kids who can't afford to turn the heating on, you just need to be more entrepreneurial. It's sick, Dan, it's sick. But this gives people mental illness. It gives people mental illness. Tell them the truth, okay? We, your older generation, we took the opportunities, and now it is almost impossible to get out of poverty. And don't just stand up there and wave, your millions of pounds in front of them and say, if you were entrepreneurial like me, you could do it, you could have it. Because it's sick, because they can't. They can't feed...
You're not even entrepreneurial. Why is he saying that? Or wait, he's saying the other guy's saying they're entrepreneurial.
You're millions of pounds in front of them and say, if you were entrepreneurial like me,
never, sorry.
Me, you could do it, you could have it. Because it's sick, because they can't.
Don't you agree with him on the general principle, even if you don't agree on the method? On what general principle? No. People can change income classes. People can change. It's fucking retarded. It's just fucking retarded.
Who can't afford to turn the heating on, you just need to be more entrepreneurial.
Or actually, let me qualify that a little bit. I'm always speaking from a U.S. perspective. I can't speak to specific economic problems in the UK. UK might be facing a whole different set of challenges right now that are different than the United States.
It's sick, Dan, it's sick. But this gives people mental illness. It gives...
Oh, but the guy he's talking to, because we watched this full talk, the other guy, the guy he's talking to also says retarded shit, though. The idea that everybody can just become an entrepreneur, everybody can start a business, that's fucking stupid as fuck.
People, mental illness. Tell them the truth, okay? We, your older generation, we took the opportunities, and now it is almost impossible to get out of poverty. And don't just stand up there and wave, your millions of pounds in front of them and say, if you were entrepreneurial like me, you could do it, you could have it. Because it's sick, because they can't. They can't feed their kids, Dan. They can't turn the heating on. Don't tell them to be more entrepreneurial. Fix the system that drives more and more and more of them into poverty every generation. I come from...
Ben Shapiro had actually good advice for poor people, or there were 3 things. We should just design social policy around these 3 things. Oh, shit. Matt Brunig says it's nonsense. Oh, no.
Hey, everyone.
33-minute video on it.
So my question just sort of focuses on 2 sort of different things we've been talking about. One, which is focusing on the decisions people...
Whatever happened to that survey you posted? Did you get any insight? No, unfortunately I didn't. I posted it. I mean, it was good, but all of my intuitions about my community were kind of more or less correct. I was hoping that there'd be some huge thing that I hadn't seen that it would demonstrate, but...
make and how that influences how successful they are. And two, you made a comment saying, in America, we don't afford you, equality of wealth or things like that. We give you equality of access.
Well, equal access to rights, not equal
Okay,
access.
okay.
There's a difference. What I mean by equal access to rights, obviously, is I mean that no one's going to get in your way, that the rights that you hold are the same as the rights that I hold, but when I'm saying, and if somebody blocks them, then that's blocking your access. But what I don't mean is that a person who has $1 million in the bank is equally situated with a person with $5 in the bank, because obviously that's stupid.
Yes, and I would agree that that's stupid.
Good, we're in agreement on stupidity, all right.
Yeah, something we can agree on. I do want to sort of extend that into, I do personally believe that the number one factor in a lot of these sort of things are the decisions you make. But a lot of what affects your decisions is sort of where you start out, and sometimes that's like a long sort of cultural argument and things like that.
Sure.
But other times, it's something more basic, like, well, if you weren't born into as wealthy a family, it's harder to go to a nicer college, and you're pressured to take another job, so you don't finish high school, or you have to take care of, it's a single-parent household, which you didn't decide. Your parents made a poor decision.
Yes.
But then you have to take care of your little siblings or things like that. So then it becomes harder for you to maintain your job, and you lose that. So I think there's a lot of sort of things that
100%
affect
this
those
is correct, yeah.
three sort of key tickets you talked about that are heavily influenced by factors entirely out of a person's
Well, I
control.
mean, not having babies out of wedlock is definitely not influenced by factors beyond your control. I mean, unless you have uncontrollable genitalia. So that's it. So so the fact is that just because you had a single mom doesn't mean that you have to follow in the pattern. Bottom line is that when you have cycles of poverty, somebody's going to have to break that at some point, and that's going to take an act of will. When it comes to graduating from high school, the number of people who are dropping out of high school because they need to support their family.
I guess the thing that always bothers me for conservatives, and I mean it bothers me on the left for the opposite reason, but the thing that bothers me for conservatives when they talk about issues that, like people making bad choices, it seems like they are either reluctant to admit or just don't engage with the fact that, yeah, there are people that make bad choices, but can we admit that like overwhelmingly the bad choices are made by people that are in environments to make those bad choices, right? Like I brought this up a lot. Like I would never sell drugs in high school because why the fuck would I? Like I've got, before school and after school stuff going on. I've got parents, at least for my first 2 years, that care about me and don't want me to, sell drugs or do shit. Like I've got an environment of other friends and people that don't, the idea of like selling drugs in high school just wouldn't even cross my mind. I don't even know if I would have the opportunity to. I don't know if I'd be able to if I wanted to. But different people in different communities have access to different choices. And I feel like those are the things that we should focus on from a public policy perspective. I think the individual advice is still good, but you have to, from the policy side, you have to see what you can change in the public, right?
Support their family is incredibly low in the United States. But if that's the case, then, I'll give you an example. There's a listener of mine who's a young woman, I think she's probably 18 years old, who emailed me the other day, and she said, you have your 3 rules, right? Don't have babies before marriage and finish high school and then get a job. And she said, I love your show. I agree with everything you say. I also broke one of those rules. So I have a baby. I had a baby when I was 15 years old. And what should I do about that? And I said, well, I replied to her.
Get rid of it. Just kidding.
So what's your social structure like? What did you have parents nearby who can help out with your kid? Do you have a church that you belong to? People who you can rely on? And she said, well, I'm not really a member of a church. I don't have like a huge social structure. I have my mom. My mom's also a single mom because there are these pathologies where there are generations of single mothers. And so what should I do? And she said, well, I went ahead and I got my GED. And now I'm trying to go to community college, but I don't have money for childcare. I don't have money for childcare. My mom works. So what should I do? And I said, well, why don't you put together a GoFundMe and get it to me, and I'll push it out there. And so she sent me a GoFundMe. I put $100 in the kitty, and an hour and a half later, she had $6,000. The reason that I did that.
Okay, but that's not like a. I feel really bad because sometimes I have friends with people I know that are like, oh, can I promote my cat's GoFundMe, or there's a GoFundMe for my mom or something. And as much as I'd like to, the problem is if I do one of these, a whole bunch of people, friends and strangers, will start asking me, oh, can I GoFundMe for this or can I GoFundMe for that? And it's like, fuck, now I have to say no. And yeah, I'm surprised Ben did that at all, but.
And the reason that I tell this story is not because I'm such a wonderful dude, although I am. The reason that the reason that I tell this story is because there is a world of willing people who are willing to give and help you escape these things if you want to make the effort. There's whole groups of people out there. There's whole organizations dedicated to helping you escape making bad decisions, dedicated to helping you get out of poverty. And if
Yeah, but we can't just create better environments out of thin air. Well, that's the beauty of it. You can create better environments through government subsidies. It is possible to do that, or government programs. I mean, you can also have like community programs as well, but it's much more realistic to craft a better environment for people to make better choices than to just come up on stage and be like, all right, guys, 3 things. And I agree with these 3 pieces of advice that Ben gives. Don't have a kid before you're ready. He says out of wedlock, but I mean, if you're married, it doesn't matter. Just don't have a kid before you're ready. Finish high school. It's essential. It might today mean also get your associates or go to college if you can, but at the very least finish high school and get a job. And if you can do those 3 things, you're going to be better than a person who's like trapped in generational poverty, having their life destroyed, okay? Those 3 things are important, but you can set people up for success by crafting an environment that allows them to pursue those three things to the best of their abilities, right? So having birth control available to people. California has investments in birth control. It saves the state money, right? Because the more people that are on birth control, the less people that have kids out of wedlock, the less the state has to pay to support, broken families, and then incarceration rates and everything else that are all the bad downstream effects of having kids out of wedlock or before you're ready to have them. Graduating high school, obviously, making sure that the funding and transportation are there and everything is available there for somebody to go to high school and graduate, and then having an economy where you can get a job or whatever. Right? Well, that's not as much a problem, but
people need to find these things, then please email me, email your church, email your synagogue. There are entire religions dedicated to this. And this idea that there are these inescapable chains of poverty, that no decision you make can help you escape these things, if that's true, then we're not doing a good enough job on a private level. But I don't think it's true. I think the American people are the most generous people on the face of the earth, statistically speaking. That is eminently true. Republicans, by the way, do give much more money to charity than Democrats, mainly because they're religious.
When Republicans donate more money to charity, I'm curious if that includes tithing to church. I've never actually looked at it before. It wouldn't surprise me if they donated more to charity, period, but I'm curious if that includes church donations, because I feel like that doesn't count if it is.
And so our goal as individuals, not as a society, because I don't like to talk about our goals as a quote-unquote society. Our goals as individuals should be to help people make the right decisions so they can escape these bad decisions that they were about to make. And people's goals as individuals should also be not to make the bad decisions. These cycles cannot be broken by a government coming in and trying to fix them. The government tried to fix poverty in 1964.
Relatively speaking, no one in the U.S. needs to sell drugs. So I think one of the main issues is a lack of opportunity seeking and a belief in self-imposed limits. Well, it just has to do with it has to do with what you think will be successful in life and the opportunities available to you, and then the ease of pursuing those opportunities, and then the payoffs associated with them. If you're in a community where nobody goes to college, none of your family went to college, and nobody around you seems to care about going to college, and there are opportunities to make money in criminal matters or criminal ways, that path seems a lot easier. The payoff seems a lot more, you just make more money for less effort. Like, why the fuck would you go the college route? Like, it would take an exceptional person to choose a path of harder resistance there. When you take like middle class people and wealthy people, the kids aren't better people and that they're making these strong decisions to go to Ivy League colleges and to study. It's because they don't even have any other choices. Like, what the fuck else are you going to do? You don't have the choice to play hooky or to, skip class and not do tests or to flunk out of school or to do these other, you don't even have that choice. Your parents don't even give you that option,
War on poverty has now been going for half a century, and by percentage, the same number of people are poor. Okay, so this is just not working. We're going to need to do something else, and it's going to need to come down to individual decision making.
That's just pointless. In that case, let's just self-destruct. Nothing in the history of all of mankind has ever been changed by telling everybody to just make better decisions, right? Oh.
Just to end this.
I didn't know having a kid out of wedlock was bad. I didn't know that flunking out of high school was bad. I didn't know that not having a job is bad. People know this. It's not an information problem. It's there's something else going on in the environment there, right?
I want to thank you for your personal kind charity, especially.
You don't have to. I didn't give you money.
I can thank you for your kindness to others, and I am very appreciative of everyone who does that. I just personally don't believe that that's going to be the solution for everyone out there.
Wait. Does it look like they could be brothers? No. Like cousins. Mizkif? A little bit? Destiny, how do you tackle lack of motivation to do anything despite having good opportunities and safety nets around you? Ooh, I don't know how to deal with that one, my friend. I have heard that complaint from a lot of people. People that have decent safety nets and a family that supports them and the opportunity to do whatever, but you just lack motivation. Good luck. I don't know how to solve that one. What's your advice to people that want to make a drastic directional shift in life? It's very easy for people to go down the path of least resistance. I don't know. That's a really tough one. Nobody has found a way to reliably get people to dramatically change in life. In my personal opinion, if you're one of these people, ignore this because this is a kind of a doomer take. But the problem is that the people that would have the psychological fortitude or aptitude to implement the necessary changes to dramatically change their life from something they really don't want would probably not end up in that situation in the first place. So I don't know. I mean, there's like a ton of ordinary pieces of advice that are given to people that, I mean, you can work to implement, but like things like making small, measurable changes in your life, adopting new routines or habits, finding like a friend to hold you accountable, small achievable goals and whatnot. Like these are all good pieces of advice. It's just a matter of doing it. Or join the military. I understand the economy isn't a zero-sum game, but isn't there some truth to the idea that policies more beneficial to very wealthy people like tax cuts leads to higher asset prices, as most of the capital returned back to wealthy people is discretionary? Wouldn't you want there to be a reasonably healthy distribution of assets among classes? I feel like this is Gary's point, even if it's not articulated well. That point is that's just such like a vague and broad and general statement that I just don't think it's worth very much. I don't know what to even do with that statement.
But once again, I thank you for coming and speaking here, and I thank you for advancing the cause of charity, even if you do it in a way that is politically different from my own.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Wow. I wonder why Matt Brunig has so much of an issue with this piece of advice. Trump tells Inner Circle that Musk will leave soon. Whoops, wrong copy. President Donald Trump has told his inner circle, including members of his cabinet, that Elon Musk will be stepping back in the coming weeks from his current role as governing partner, ubiquitous cheerleader, and Washington hatchet man. The president remains pleased with Musk and his Doge department, but both men have decided in recent days that it will soon be time for Musk to return to his businesses and take on a supporting role, according to 3 Trump insiders who were granted anonymity to describe the evolving relationship. Musk's looming retreat comes as some Trump administration insiders and many outside allies have become frustrated with his unpredictability and increasingly view the billionaire as a political liability. A dynamic that was thrown into stark relief Tuesday when a conservative judge Musk vocally supported lost his bid for a Wisconsin Supreme Court seat by 10 points. It also represents a stark shift in the Trump-Musk relationship from a month ago when White House officials and allies were predicting Musk was here to stay and that Trump would find a way to blow past the 130-day time limit. One senior administration official said Musk is likely to retain an informal role as an advisor and and continue to be an occasional face around the White House grounds. Another cautioned that anyone who thinks Musk is going to disappear entirely from Trump's orbit is fooling themselves. The transition, the insider said, is likely to correspond to the end of Musk's time as a special government employee, a special status that temporarily exempts him from some ethics and conflict of interest rules. That 130-day period is expected to expire in late May or early June. Musk's dick riders inside the administration believe that the time is right for a transition, given their view that there's only so much more he can cut from government agencies without shaving too close to the bone. But many others say he's an unpredictable, unmanageable dipshit who has had issues communicating his plans with cabinet secretaries, and through the White House chain of command, led by Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, frequently sending them into a frenzy with unexpected and off-message comments on X, his social media platform, including sharing unvetted and uncoordinated plans to gut federal agencies. The political threat that Musk poses was highlighted Tuesday after Democrats fucking annihilated the Wisconsin race for Supreme Court and seized on Musk's roughly $20 million investment, with some openly calling it a referendum on the polarizing mogul. Trump, however, had already started easing the glide path starting more than a week before the election, including at a March 24th cabinet meeting where he told attendees that Musk is going to be getting the fuck out. According to one of the insiders who did not attend the meeting but was briefed on the comments, a senior administration official confirmed that Trump said that he is giving Musk the boot. Immediately after making the announcement, Trump invited reporters and cameras in for the tail end of the meeting, where he lavished praise on Musk, deep-throating all 4 inches of his unworkable IVF-required cock that he has inseminated so many conservative Twitter Barbies with. Cabinet secretaries, many of whom had clashed with Musk just weeks before Musk's bull in a china shop approach to cutting their departments, in turn jumped in to hail his bureaucracy-slashing campaign. Elon, I want to slurp you. I know you've been through a lot, Trump said, mentioning death threats and the spate vandalism directed at the cars built by Tesla before calling him a patriot and one of the tightest little boy asses I've ever fucked. Both men subsequently hinted publicly at a transition. When Fox News' Brett Baer asked Musk on Thursday whether he'd be ready to leave when his special government employee status expires, he essentially declared mission accomplished. I think we'll have accomplished most of the work required to do absolutely fucking nothing within the time frame that I leave. On Monday night, Trump told reporters that at some point, Elon's going to want to go back to his company, adding, Tesla has lost half of its value, limb fail, lol, I can't believe this fucking retard is actually crashing and burning all of his fucking companies. What a dipshit, lol. As the president said, this White House would love to keep Elon around for as long as possible. White House spokesperson Harrison Field said Tuesday as election results from Wisconsin rolled in, Elon has been instrumental in demonstrating that destiny was correct all along in saying that money can't buy elections, as we've watched him throw millions of dollars into the Wisconsin Supreme Court race for absolutely no fucking positive outcome. Damn. But many close to Trump are increasingly relieved that Musk is expected to soon move on from his central role as Trump's dick holster, Jesus, and that the litany of Doge surprises, which have ranged from a weekend email blast demanding federal workers list their work output to accidental cuts to Ebola prevention programs, might finally be coming to a close. That's to say nothing of their concerns about Musk as a political liability who has served as a rallying point for fractured Democrats. Jesus. The elections, I think, were scary for Republicans, but we'll look over those.
Yield back a little bit of my time. I'm going to leave you, and I'll yield back a little bit of my time. A direct quote from Joseph Goebbels. It is the absolute right of the state to supervise the formation of public opinion, and I think that may be what we're discussing.
Wait. Hold on. Wait. I'm so sorry. Wait, what? I thought he, like, unknowingly quoted him. Sorry, hold on.
I'm going to leave you, and I'll yield back a little bit of my time. A direct quote from Joseph Goebbels. It is the absolute right of the state to supervise the formation of public opinion, and I think that may be what we're discussing here, and yield back.
Gentleman yields back. With that, the representative from Texas, Ms. Johnson, is...
Okay, wait, hold on. God, don't make me do this. Hopefully, I hope I'm wrong and this is actually abhorrent. Do you think that...
I'll leave you, and I'll yield a quote from...
Is he criticizing the state forming a public opinion here, and that's why he's quoting Goebbels or whatever? Because he might be trying to criticize somebody with this quote. No? But I don't know what he's responding to here.
Gentleman yields back. With that, the representative from Texas, Ms. Johnson, is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I want to respond to what my colleague from Texas just said. When you're quoting Joseph Goebbels about state, the role of state in the public debate, we have a big problem. Isn't that right, Ms. Jacobs? I mean, that's alarming as hell to me when that becomes the gold standard of Hitler and all that was going on.
Oh, yeah. So this is about PBS and NPR. So then he's saying that PBS and NPR are like basically like the Nazis or Hitler, whatever, I guess.
In Russia, I mean, in German atrocities during World War II, when that becomes the quote of this hearing.
But, okay, whatever. The scoop is garbage. Elon Musk and President Trump have both publicly stated that Elon will depart from public service as a special government employee when his incredible work at Doji is complete. Goebbels was the propaganda guy for, what was his official role? Of public enlightenment and propaganda. Okay. How do you spell this loser's name? Okay. What is this?
President Trump pushing ahead with his America First agenda.
Breaking news, Apple announced it's going to work with Foxconn to build a server factory in Texas by 2026.
The company says it is now planning to invest $500 billion in the U.S. economy.
The CEO of SoftBank pledging to invest $100 billion in the U.S. over the next 4 years.
This is President Trump delivering on the promise he made to the American people on the campaign trail.
The idea is come to America, build greatness in America, build for the American customers.
Project Stargate. It's a joint venture between SoftBank, Oracle, and OpenAI, and they're going to create a data center that will eventually be expanded to other states.
Shows people are listening to Mr. Trump's pitch to bring new industry to America.
This is the latest pledge from a foreign business leader promising to spend big in the U.S. as a result of Trump's election victory.
Founder of the property development company DeMac Properties is pledging the money.
President Trump announcing $100 billion investment from Taiwan Semiconductor, bringing the company's total American investments to $165 billion.
The most powerful AI chips in the world will be made right here in America.
Things happen so quickly in the Trump world, right? It's 100 days. Right. It feels like it's 100 months. This is leadership. This is taking control of the problem for military, for everything, for industrial, for our economy. Even if it causes short-term pain, the reality is it is the right decision.
NVIDIA says it will invest hundreds of billions of dollars over the next 4 years, part of the manufacturing renaissance under President Donald J. Trump.
Furniture maker Prepack are shifting their operations from Canada to North Carolina.
Johnson & Johnson says it will invest more than $55 billion in the U.S. over the next 4 years.
Hyundai announced a $20 billion investment.
With your leadership, Mr. President, Hyundai Motor Group is proud to be a stronger partner in America's industrial future.
This is the automobile industry, and now those plants largely have stopped and they're moving them to our country. Honda is building one of the biggest plants.
The trade story is certainly picking up speed here and pushing more countries to make these bigger investments. It's another example of the Trump effect. GE Aero.
The Trump effect. Yes, my king. My king. What did he come into office on? January 22nd? My king. Yes. This came out 4 hours ago. Elon Musk dramatically steps down from Doge in shock move after Trump expressed private doubts. This is a Daily Mail article. Is this just repeating the same news from earlier? This isn't actually anything new happening, right? Okay. I'm actually curious. How much would our stock market be down, like the S&P 500 index, if like Tesla was never factored in? I guess it would delete a lot of gains as well over the last 5 years or whatever. Do you think he's going to go full blanket tariffs today? I will say it's pretty funny that we have no fucking idea. This is just quoting the Political article. Yeah, okay.